Salve Miki, welcome back to Viva Latina, and welcome back to our vocabulary level 3 video. Before we begin, I want to address a mistake I made in the last video. For the verb nascor, the principal parts are naski and natu sum. I just realized I made that mistake because looking through the PowerPoint, I could see that nankiskor had very similar principal parts with nascor. The reality is that these words are really similar. And I accidentally put the principal parts for naskor, for nankiskor, for naskor. So make sure you don't make the same mistake I do. Again, it's naskor, naski, natu sum, and it means to be born. So with that out of the way, let's begin with our actual vocabulary for this video. So our first word is opto, first conjugation. It basically means to hope for, wish, or pray for. Then we have a noun, opus operis the neuter. It means work. Then we have ora orai, feminine. It is a first declension noun meaning a shore or like a coast. Then we have oro, a first conjugation verb which means to beg or pray. Then we have orior, oriri, or to sum, which means to rise or rise, to get up. This is a deponent verb. We have ost oris, neuter, meaning mouth or face. We have otium, oti, neuter, meaning ease or leisure. We have parco, parcere, peperki, parsus or parsum, which means to spare. But let's focus on peperki. It is not parki, but peperki. Now we have pareo, parere, parui, paritum, meaning to obey. Then we have pateo, patere, patui, which does not have a fourth principal part, but this word means to extend or be open. We have patio or pati, pasusum, which means to allow, suffer, or permit. Is another deponent verb. Next, we have pectus pectoris, neuter, meaning chest. Again, we have the RIS and the US for third declension. Now we have pello, pellere, pepuli, pulsum. Pulsum. Again, look at the irregular third principal part. This verb means to drive or put to fight. We have pendeo, pendere, pependi, and no fourth principal part, which means to hang down. But now we have pendo, pendere, pependi, pensum, meaning to pay or weigh. Let's look at the difference between pendeo, which has the EO, and pendo, which does not have the E. We have the same third principal part, pependi. However, pendeo does not have a fourth principal part. That's an easy way to tell the difference. Again, pendeo means to hang down, and pendo means to pay or weigh. Now we have perdo, perdere, perdidi, perditum, which means to destroy, lose, or ruin. We have pingo, pingere, pinxi, pictum, which means to depict, paint, draw. You can see the pict kind of correlating with the depict over here. We have pius, piapium, adjective meaning dutiful, loyal, or pious. We have placeo, placere, placui, placitum, meaning please. We have polliceor, pollicere, pollicitus sum, meaning to promise. This is another deponent verb. Now we have pontus, ponti, masculine, meaning sea or sea water. Similar to ichor. We have potestas, potestatis, feminine, meaning power, influence, or chance. Again, potestas is not the accusative plural, but it is the nominative singular, making it imperative to know which declension a noun is in. This noun is in the third declension. Now we have another verb, potior, potiri, potitu sum, which means to get or gain possession of. This is a deponent verb. We have another deponent verb, precor, precari, precatu sum, which means to pray. We have premo, premere, pressi, pressum, and this means to press. We have pretium, preti, neuter, meaning price or a cost. Next, we have principium, principi, neuter, meaning beginning, start, or origin. Now we have pro, a preposition, taking the ablative, which means before or for. We have a verb, probo, in the first conjugation, which means to prove, approve, or even in some context, show. We have procul, which means afar or at a distance. We have puto, which means to think or deem, again, a first conjugation verb. We have quaero, quaere, quaesivi, quaesitum, which means to seek or ask. Again, look at the quaesivi and the quaesitum here. It's not quaesi, but quaesivi. That's why it's really important to know your third principal part and your fourth principal part. Next, we have qualis, which means of what kind. It is used sometimes in interrogative sense. We have quam, which has a lot of definitions, but some of the most common ones are how, as, or than. Then we have an adjective quantus, quanta, quantum, which means how great, how much, or how large. It's more of an interrogative adjective. We have queror, query, questus sum. Again, this is a deponent verb, which means complain. Next, we have quia, which means because. Then quidem, which means indeed or certainly. We have quies, quietus, which is feminine, which means rest, quiet, or repose. We have quisque, quaique, quodque, which means each or each one. We have quo, which means where, whither, or to which place. We have quondam, which means formally or even once. We have ramus, rami, masculine, which means branch. We have rapio, rapere, rapui, raptum, which means snatch or even carry off. We have refero, refere, retuli, relatus, which means to bring back. We have reor, reri, ratu sum, another deponent verb which means to think or reckon. We also have ripa, ripai, feminine, which means a bank on a river. Next, we have rumpo, rumpere, rupi, ruptum. Remember, the M does not carry forward into the third principal part, making it imperative for you to know what the third principal part is, because that determines the fourth principal part. And this basically means to break or rupture. We have ruo, ruere, rui, rutum, which means to rush or rush to cause a ruin. And finally, we have saeculum, saeculi, a neuter second declension noun meaning age or generation. So with that being said, we just completed 4/5 of the Advanced Vocabulary Regional Study Guide. We're going to end the last part in the next video, so thank you so much for following along and can't wait to see you in the next video. Thank you.